You were my everything in 8th grade. Celebrity IOU's Tyra Banks opens up about her childhood best friend. Celebrity IOU Season 10 Episode 6 was released on August 13, 2025. The latest episode featured Tyra Banks meeting the Property Brothers. She wanted to renovate her junior high school best friend's house and surprise her. Teaming up with Drew and Jonathan Scott, Tyra shared what she wanted to do throughout the renovation. With their help, she came up with a unique design. The episode featured Tyra Banks, along with the Property Brothers, going to surprise her best friend. After seeing her, she shared that her best friend was everything to her in her high school days. "This woman, it's so crazy because you were my everything in the 8th grade," shared Tyra Banks. Recently released Celebrity IOU Season 10 Episode 6 saw an emotional reunion. It was between Tyra Banks and her high school best friend, Marries. She went to see her with the Property Brothers. Tyra wanted to surprise her best friend with a renovation idea she had. HGTV describes the latest Celebrity IOU Season 10 episode as, "Tyra Banks is smizing her way through a renovation for her best friend from junior high. Tyra shows off her design chops with Jonathan and Drew's help, highlighting the flawsome beauty of her friend's mixed-style home." Tyra Banks, while sharing about her best friend Marries, said she hadn't seen her for 3 years. However, while meeting her after a long time, she was the same, and there was something about her voice. "My memories are of her just being my super best friend in the 8th grade, being inseparable and feeling such a strong connection with this amazing LA home girl that talks like the coolest surfer in the world," added Tyra Banks. Tyra's best friend also recalled their high school days and shared that the two were like homies. She mentioned they were very close growing up. Marries mentioned that they have been very supportive of each other. She also recalled the tough times the two have faced together. "Just being very supportive of each other, like going through issues with our parents and fighting in that other person. So we talked about boys, just the normal stuff that you do." She added that everything that was important to them, the other one knew about it. While on Celebrity IOU, Tyra Banks also recalled how her best friend helped her over the years. She recalled struggling with self-esteem. Whenever she was doubting herself, Marries helped her overcome the issues. And she was like, "Ty, you are amazing, you're great, you rock, the accent, you rock. Like, it's okay," shared Tyra Banks. Further, while Marries went to college, Tyra went to Paris for her further studies. Property Brothers fans are not happy with their new show. Here's why. It seems as though HGTV fans are hoping the Property Brothers' new show is on the chopping block. The two are beloved, but it looks like the same can't be said for one of Jonathan and Drew Scott's newest series called Celebrity IOU. The series, which premiered in 2020, hones in on celebrities helping to renovate one of their loved ones' homes. Though the show's premise means well, a slew of HGTV viewers believe it comes off as patronizing, since celebrities choose their employees for the home makeover. This was apparent to one Reddit user, who took to the platform on August 6 to share their issues with the show, per TV Insider. Celebrity IOU is currently in its 10th season. "Does anyone see Celebrity IOU as a bit tone-deaf?" the post said, which was shared on the HGTV subreddit. Many replied back to the post in the comments section. One commenter wrote, "Always. So condescending. A bit." One user had asked, "That like saying the Property Brothers are a bit overexposed." "Yeah, it's totally tone deaf." Meanwhile, a few users also wrote that they didn't believe some of the celebrity guests were truthful while filming Celebrity IOU. "I dislike the conceit that, I always wanted to do something nice for her. You've been richer than your dear lifelong friend for decades. What took you so long? Why fix up 2 rooms in a crappy house when you could move them to a new place?" One user wrote, "I don't know if tone deaf is the right wording, but I've always felt like it's a massive clout grab by the celebrity. Kind of a look at me thing. These people are definitely not doing something like this for the person off camera." Another commented, "I'm sure the stars mean well. If these folks have meant so much to the stars and consider them family, why did it take so long for the stars to repay these folks? Doing it in a very boring TV seems fake to me. Yep, a bit condescending," another chimed. But others have commented about the Celebrity IOU episodes that felt genuine to them. I really liked the episode with Rosario Dawson and her lifelong friend from back in the day when they were struggling in showbiz together. It seemed really genuine to me, one user commented. I will say I just watched the Shaun White one and he seemed really sweet and sincere about helping his friend, another wrote. Ray Romano's was the only one I watched where I didn't feel like he was being an expletive. He seemed truly grateful for the person and just wanted to make her day better. Another user commented, if you purchase a product or register for an account through a link on our site, we may receive compensation. By using this site, you consent to our user agreement and agree that your clicks, interactions, and personal information may be collected, recorded, and/or stored by us and social media and other third-party partners in accordance with our privacy policy. The brothers posted a video on their Instagram accounts with the two striking model poses, starting with the two of them flanking supermodel Tyra Banks. Banks is the celebrity in the latest Celebrity IOU on HGTV. The first two poses feature all three on a mock-up cover of Elle, then Vogue. But after that, it goes from the pros to the bros as each brother tries to top the other in progressively more outrageous scenarios, while Tyra has the good sense to get out of the way. Drew poses with tripods for a mock cover of GQ that reads The Property Showman on Staying Grounded. Then Jonathan wields a T-square like a sword for a mock cover of Better Homes and Gardens that reads Jonathan Scott, 5 garden hacks from a black belt. Not to be outdone, Drew Scott takes it inside, showing off his best pillow chops before striking a pose on a cream-colored sofa, reaching out to the camera for a mock cover of National Geographic that reads Drew in the Wild, never-before-seen photographs with collectible centerfold. Finally, Jonathan poses atop a stepladder for his mock cover of HGTV magazine that touts backyard magic with Jonathan Scott and promises decorating ideas for a barnyard paradise. If you think the brothers have made a typo, then you need to brush up on your Tyra Banks bank of knowledge. Smize is a term the former supermodel and talk show host coined that means smiling with just your eyes. In an episode of The Drew Barrymore Show, Tyra told Drew, in order to get the right smize, you have to think of something that delights you. She then went on to show Drew that smizing engages the muscles around your eyes rather than your mouth. Tyra has even turned her turn of phrase into a churn of phrase, with Smize and Dream ice cream. The ice cream brand just opened its flagship shop in Sydney, Australia. Tyra says she is obsessed with ice cream and eats it every day, sometimes multiple times a day. According to Rotten Tomatoes, Tyra will beam that smize on her best friend from junior high school for her episode of Celebrity IOU with Jonathan and Drew Scott. Exactly what she and the Property brothers will renovate hasn't been revealed.